I'm very struck by the fact that we are having a press conference at the National Press Club about preliminary findings that even the Society of Toxicology saw last week, and that the title of our press conference is, "Are Chemicals Killing Us?" And the answer is basically, our toxicologists say they're not toxic. I don't think this is a constructive way to begin a dialogue. If you're serious, first of all, most serious scientists wouldn't have a press conference until their publication had been accepted for publication. So just even doing this is ironically very anti-scientific, and you're trying to diss the public and be better than they are. But this is very unscientific. And if you're genuine about wanting a dialogue, you don't do a dialogue with the affected parties or the interested parties at the National Press Club. And so I have to just, I looked at this, I have a positive view of the Society of Toxicology in large part because several of their most recent presidents have been great. I'm a fan of George Mason because I like your basketball team. I had nothing coming into this that had me on edge, but I have to admit that it has left an unscientific taste in my mouth, and it seems like the sort of event that one of the groups that you're saying is so unscientifically credible would do. But you guys are here ironically, supposedly being the scientists, so it's sort of ironic to have these faults. So I would urge that if you are genuinely interested in trying to nail these things, that we not do snapshots, preliminary findings of the National Press Club, and that we sort of follow more of the rules of the scientific community, which I'm sure apply in social science as well as toxicology, if you want to be taken seriously and credibly by those of us who really do, despite what the surveys say, spend their career trying to parse through the evidence on these chemicals.
Let me first say that you just reminded me that 3 of the 5 starters on the Final Four George Mason team were communication majors. And you're with NRDC? And NRDC has never released data of any sort before there was peer-reviewed evidence.
Well, we don't say, but
I'm asking.
Well, first of all, we're an advocacy group and we don't hold ourselves out as scientific researchers. Second of all, we do actually have, and second of all, we wouldn't do this. We wouldn't do this.
So you don't hold yourself out as scientific researchers in the studies that you do?
We don't do basic science. Everybody knows that.
Okay. From my perspective, the reason we're doing this is you've got 2 things in conflict. One, you do want to wait until everything's in. You develop the article, you send it out to the journal, 3 people look at it, 2 of them want revisions, you send it back and so forth, and 2 years later you have an article out. On the other hand, there is a pressing public issue that there are a lot of these stories in the news, there's a lot of public debate, and we think that it would be better to have the scientists involved in this debate. Well, one way to do that is to survey the scientists. We used a highly reputable survey firm, Harris Interactive, and give out the preliminary results. Say these are preliminary, but a survey is a survey. You have all the information on the survey, response rate, sample size, and all of this stuff. And unlike other academic research, surveys are often most significant when they are most timely. And indeed, I can't remember the name of the organization that oversees appropriate methodology and so forth for polling. There is an organization in the polling industry that sets out guidelines that does not say that surveys should not be reported before they are put in peer-reviewed journals. So, yeah, there are different values at risk. I don't think it's unscientific to present the results of a well-done survey with the understanding that there will be more data analysis in the future and that we absolutely will get these put into journals, scientific journals, peer-reviewed journals. And I've always done that in the past with every other study of this sort that I've done. Stuff has appeared in Nature, the New England Journal of Medicine, JAMA, and many other journals.